Today we're going to be reacting to the brand new Lorde album, Virgin.
This is her fourth studio album, and Lorde is one of those artists that I only really know one or two songs from, so I'm very excited to see what this is going to be like.
Yeah, this is a genuine first reaction. The only song that I can think of from Lorde is Royals. Apart from that, I've never really heard her music, but I've heard some good things. So should we kick it off with the first song, Tim?
This is Hammer.
I feel like I'm either going to really love this album or it's going to disappoint me massively. I like the sound here, though.
There's a heat in the pavement, my mercury's racing. Don't know if it's love or if it's ovulation. When you're holding a hammer, everything looks like in there.
I like the effect on the voice. It's pretty cool.
But I really do think there could
I'm waiting for it to kick in a little bit. Where's the energy?
There's got to be some coming
Nice
soon.
vocals so far, though.
Oh, really nice vocals.
ready to feel like I don't have the answers. There's peace in the madness. Over our heads, let it carry me.
Woo. Oh, that's funky. I like that. There's a lot of soundscaping going on there. There's a lot happening right now.
Today I'll go to Canal Street. They're piercing my ears. I'm making a wish when
It's in Canal Street in Manchester.
taking over a picture.
That's a bit mad.
They didn't tell me who I am. This over our heads.
I like the electronic elements that they're using. It's really cool. That swelling. That was nice. I'm really liking this electronic section that's coming twice now. Like a little break beat.
Postcard from the edge. Yeah.
I like how it's kind of ending with the same note it started with. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I think that was a cool intro to the album. It was a bit questionable as to what direction it was going to go in initially, but there was a lot of energy in it. It was quite upbeat and not what I was expecting at all, to be honest.
Nah, I second that. It wasn't the sound I was expecting, but I liked the electronic influences. I thought it was just catchy. It felt like quite a fun track, and as you say, for an opening song, there was plenty of energy to start us off.
Next up, we've got What Was That?
Step out into the street, alone in a sea. It comes over me, or I'm missing you. Yeah, I'm missing
That's a cool
you.
dropout.
And all the things we used to do. MDMA in the back garden, blow pupils up. We kiss for hours straight, but baby, what?
Well, I like that. It's really simple vocals with just that one note.
This is the best single.
It kind of feels a bit Dead Mousey almost, you know what I mean?
Want you just like that.
Is he going to build up to something here?
A little bit more now.
I didn't know then that you'd never be enough. Oh, since I was 17, I gave you everything. Now we wake from a dream. Well, baby, what was that?
Yeah. Again, quite simplistic, but a little
Yeah,
funky.
yeah. That noise kind of sounds like you're pulling a chair out or something.
Baby, what was that? Do you know you're still with me?
Nice beat. It's keeping it going nicely. It's just following it through.
Stare at their painted faces. I know it might not let me go.
Think we're going to get another dropout section here? Or is it going to build up to something? There we go. There we go.
We're back.
Pupils up. We kiss for hours straight. Well, baby, what was that? I remember saying then, this is the best cigarette of my life. Well, I want you just like that. What's that? What was that?
It's a cool noise, to be fair. I thought it was a bit intrusive initially, but I like it. It's feeling very big. You know what I mean? It's a big sound right now. Huge. Huge.
Baby, what was that?
Really enjoyed that. That was proper fun, proper poppy, but there was so many little sound effects and things going on in the production and the instrumental. I thought that was an ace song. That's going straight on the playlist.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. It felt different. It felt fresh almost. It felt like something that I've not really heard before, and it's in that vein of kind of pop girly side of things, but it had something about it that just gave it an extra bite. You know what I mean? There was something to it.
I kind of came into this expecting Lorde to be similar to, we've done first listens for Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, loads of big artists. I thought she'd maybe be in the same category as them, but given the topics of the song and the production so far, that's not the case at all. And if you are a Lorde fan, please let us know your favourite track from Virgin in the comments and hit like and subscribe whilst you're there. But what's up next, Tim?
Next, we have got Shapeshifter. Industrial beat.
Chewing gum, I know, don't hide a sour taste that's in my throat, but the voice in my head says,
Much darker feeling.
have the stones.
Would it be wrong for me to say this feels like there's a certain Charlie XCX energy to it immediately?
They did have a song together recently, so that could be a big influence here, but I don't know, it feels different so far. It's not as hyper, it's not as energetic, it's calmer, but still
I think
electronic.
For this, I meant this track in particular, the vocal delivery immediately just felt like that kind of spoken word.
Giving nothing personal, so I'm not affected. I've been the eyes, I've been the flame, I've been the prize, the boy.
I'm really liking these sections where the vocals are really prominent with just an easy bass line and beat in the background.
So I'm not affected.
Just sounds clean.
I'm actually more concentrating on the lyrics so far in this. It feels really personal.
I've been up on a pedestal, but tonight I just wanna fall.
Oh, some strings.
Tonight I just wanna fall.
This is giving real Jack Antonoff to me, like Bleachers-esque.
Yeah, tonight I just wanna fall. A teenage innocence.
It's very interesting vocal delivery as well.
I've been the eyes, I've been the flame, I've been the prize, the ball, the chain.
Them subdued strings just do enough. Just enough going on.
So I'm not affected. Say I'm not affected. I'll kick you out.
I like the overlapping vocals that are happening now. Big crescendo going on. Big. Oh, that's
That's
drums.
kind of from the start again, that little breakbeat type thing that was going on. She just brought it back.
I feel like that was a much more personal track.
It was. It's the longest track on the album as well. And she was really talking about, I read it as relationships that she's been through, and she's kind of been in every type of relationship, but she's never let her true self come out because she doesn't want to be affected. And I think that's a very interesting topic to cover, and she did it well. The production was cool. To say it was quite long, it wasn't overly energetic at any point, but it still had enough going on in the instrumental that was interesting.
What they did is they introduced new elements each time they were repeating like a certain, motif, a little bit of a verse, a little bit of a chorus. They added the strings in, and then they had the bass drop down a little bit so the strings were taking more of a foreground. And there was a lot of swapping of sounds going on, which kind of sonically kept me interested, along with the subject matter itself. I think that was a really good track.
Well, we're on to Man of the Year up next.
Like new from my
But not for the first time, just a calm little note, some vocals, where we're going to go from here.
siren sing
The vocals are nice as well, quite echoey.
violent sweet music.
Like I said, I've never really heard her doing much before, so I'm really intrigued by every song on this album so far because the vocal delivery is really good.
Take my knife and I cut the cord. Give me like this, let it flow down to me. Love me like this. Now I'm broken up.
Great vocals in that section.
Ooh. Probably distorted like cello or something going on there.
I go about my day. Love me like this. Now I'm broken up. And let's hear it for the man of the year. How I hope that I remembered my gold chain, my shoulders, my face in the light. Oh, I didn't think he'd appear
I'd really like to know who is making all these electronic sounds going on, because so far we're only 4 tracks in and every track has had its own footprint and different things going on. And there's been a lot of cool sounds.
It kind of sounds like it's not in the same album so far. Every track has been very unique in a kind of strange way. I really liked the end of that. I think the little bit of energy it brought was needed. But the vocals at the start of that track were fantastic as well. Maybe the best so far. Another good song. I'm wildly impressed so far with this album.
We're kind of, almost 4 for 4 currently, where I'm like, you know what? These are actually all decent songs. And we'll move on to the next track, which is Favorite Daughter.
We've not had that many drums so far.
I was a singer, you were my fan, when no one gave a damn. It was you in the dark, scared of your anger, in love with your will.
Again, with the gradual introduction of new instruments, just keeps it fresh.
But I don't give up. Getting it for your love, 'cause I'm an actress.
That's funky, man. I've been surprised at so many moments in these songs. That's ace.
You had a brother, I look like him.
Another nice dropout, just vocals and drums.
Kids,
Starts to reintroduce it again.
bit of a broken
There's some good thought gone into this songwriting here. This is nice.
every door you open this panic attack just to be your favorite daughter. Everywhere I run,
Really like the phrasing on the lyrics.
Could have a what?
Bit of scatting going on.
I was about to say something. I just looked up and you went, "Boo." Yeah, this could be a good little drop at the end, though.
I like that. Oh, this is good, man. This is good.
So you could imagine being the favorite daughter. Everywhere I run.
I think that was maybe my favourite song so far. Really enjoyed the energy. It felt like there was a lot more going on than there was in some of the other tracks, and I appreciated that.
That was very hectic, and there was a lot of noises thrown in there. Like every so often, there was a really harsh, like noise that was happening, but it just added a little bit of something to it. There was the arpeggiated synth going on in the background, that doodle doodle over and over again. There was just this driving force throughout the whole track.
And at the same time, it was a really deep topic about, growing up and trying to impress and trying to live up to your parents, etc. It was just a great song. What are we now? 5 for 5?
This is impressive. Up next, we've got Current Affairs. Let's see if this carries it on. 6 for 6. Who knows? We're on good form right now.
Is this Lorde's usual production? If you're a Lorde fan and you're watching, let me know. Maybe we'll have to we have a series called First Listen where, this is a first listen, but we're more reacting. We might have to check out some other Lorde albums.
Knew when a filter hit, stood in the park under the eclipse.
Very crisp vocals there.
Only a field trip till it cooled my blood.
You can literally hear the noises a mouth's making.
You're in the light, then you're in the dark. Then someone throws a flare. You tasted my underwear.
Oh.
I knew
Oh, Lord. Ooh. Oh, Lordy.
it is on fire. Current affairs.
What was that? What was that?
Current affairs.
Don't know what it was, but it added something. I liked it.
Now I'm crying on the phone, swearing nothing's wrong. Blame it on current affairs.
It's that same little guitar note continuing on the whole song.
But now I'm high enough to know. Yeah,
Oh.
I think he's gone.
Tempo change.
Current affairs.
Oh, it's back. Is that a sample, do you think?
We're 6 for 6. If this carries on in this manner, this is going to be an album of the year contender. Every song so far.
This is genuinely really good work. And I think that track in particular kind of really showed off Lorde's vocals as a whole, because like we were saying at the beginning, it was very crisp and you could hear everything that she was doing. And her delivery of some of those vocals were phenomenal.
Yeah, there wasn't a whimper. There wasn't a break in her voice at all. I don't know why the production of that song kind of reminded me of Notes on a Conditional Form. The way that there was just like a little bit of guitar, a little bit of drums, but some electronic influences at the same time.
And also, interestingly, that weird sample that was in the chorus where, I don't know, it was some guy just saying some things. But again, what you're saying, it feels like it had that electronic influence where they have like certain artists just come in for a bit of ad-libs. But it doesn't actually say who or what that was. So I'd be interested to know if that was recorded for this song in particular or whether it was sampled from somewhere else.
I'm not sure, but Tim, let us know what track is up next.
Up next, we've got Clear Blue. You blind fuck.
Testing for pregnancy, praying in MP3.
Haven't heard the word MP3 in a while.
Just see into the whole machine, leave it all on the field. I try letting the answer be part of the dances. I trip and I stumble, yeah, baby, I'm free, I'm free. I feel you answer, my hips moving faster. I roll you till I cry. How's it feel being this alive? Where did it go? Wish I kept the clear blue. I remember how it feels to be.
That was very interesting because at no point was there any instruments. That was entirely voice, and it was engaging.
Yeah,
which surprised me.
I don't know what it was about it. I didn't hate it, and I kind of wanted to because I was just thinking, what am I really listening to? But again, it felt personal. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It just feels like a little album interlude, if anything.
Yeah, I'd say interlude because, again, it's the shortest on the album at 1 minute 57. But it felt, I want to say hypnotic. I don't know. I felt like I was just drawn into it for some reason. I was waiting for something to happen, and it didn't. But I wasn't upset that it didn't either. I felt like it was just kind of like keeping me going along.
Well, we're on to the last 4 songs, and up next is Get Ready With Me, or GRWM.
Watching him off my chest, keeping it light, not on.
Not sure how I feel about that line.
Jumping from stone to stone in the riverbed, I guess. Girl's a grown woman.
Kind of metronome in the background.
Wide hips to the gym, 96.
Oh.
Skin scar.
Didn't expect that noise.
Wide hips, soft lips, my mama's trauma. Since 96, been looking for a grown woman. A grown woman in a baby tee. A grown woman. Girl's a grown woman.
I guess that it's not Get Ready With Me, it's Grown Woman.
Wide hips to the gym, 96, skin scar, looking forward.
Something that's been apparent throughout this album is that whoever's produced it is really liking these dropouts where it's got a lot of noise and all of a sudden, and then back in again. And I'm here for it. I enjoy that.
Been looking for a grown woman. I've been looking for a grown woman.
I'd probably say that was my least favourite song on the album so far. I didn't dislike it as such. I think the production was still really good, but just felt a little bit one-dimensional in comparison to some of the others.
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't a whole lot going on with that track, and the credit that I've given the other ones for having these new sounds and instruments coming in every so often and keeping things interesting, that one really didn't do too much to push the boundaries of the sound.
There was a little bit of that. There were these like high-pitched, really fast-paced noises that were coming in the background. Again, I don't think it was bad, but I would class that as more of an album track.
Yeah, it's definitely not reached the heights of the previous tracks, but it was still decent.
Before we go on to the final 3 tracks, please do remember to hit like and subscribe. We listen to and react to all types of music, so I'm sure you'll be a fan of the channel.
And up next, we've got Broken Glass. Someone's left the popcorn in the microwave.
Mystique is dead. Last year was bad.
That noise is Charlie XCX noise.
It's very similar. I was going to say there's been a few moments in this album where I can just see the gays absolutely throwing it back to this, a community which I'm a part of, by the way, before I get hounded. But I can just imagine going to a gay bar, everyone would be bumping these tunes.
New waste.
Back to the introduction of new instruments again, which I like. The little bass that's just been added there.
Just how much I paid for it. Did I cry myself to sleep about that? Cheat about that? Rot teeth about that? Did I sweat hours a week about that? Compete about that? Lose my freak about that?
Lose my freak?
All of the above. I wanna punch the mirror to make her see that this won't last. When I sweat hours a week about that, compete about that, letting her treat me like
I'm liking the
that.
rhythm of those. The bam ba dam bam bam ba dam bam. It's cool.
It's almost going from like spoken words to some really nice vocals back to the...
It might be months of bad luck, but what if it's just broken glass? Just a face. Broken glass. Just a face. I wanna punch the mirror to make her see that.
And all of a sudden there's so much going on when it was so simple at the end. It's just that every little element, boom, 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 we're here.
It's just broken glass. Spit my summer getting lost in math. Make it will take so I won't outrun it if you don't hit back. It's just broken glass.
What I really like towards the end there, I mean, I think it happened a couple of times. There was a really subtle breathing used as a percussion. There was like a ch bit, and I think that was supposed to be somebody breathing, and that added a little bit to it. And like you were saying just there, there's so many things going on at once.
I'd say we're back on a good track with Broken Glass. Really enjoyed it. At first, it felt like a little more funky dance number, which I've said a few times about this album, and I'm really impressed with its ability to go from an emotional song to one that makes me want to bob my head and dance a little.
Yeah, all around decent track. And up next, we've got the second to last track, which is If She Could See Me Now.
I hear the voices
Oh.
of the ancients. They're
Distorted
calling
little
for
bass
us.
going on there.
The horses running up
It's either it's going to be angry or at a much higher tempo.
'Cause I'm a mystic.
There's gotta be some drums on this one.
That would drown so many other bitches. Got me lifted, feeling so gifted.
That's nice.
Almost like a guitar solo.
In the gym, I'm exercising. All my demons make them keep riding. Yesterday, I lifted your
That's a really interesting drum sound going on there. Weird percussion.
I pick a song and listen to it till it's
Here comes the swell.
a piece of music and everything else falls away.
Instantly feels lighter, happier.
Baby, whenever you break me, oh God, if you could
Oh,
see me now.
little acoustic guitar in there.
Hope you find another starlet, another camera, another red carpet. As for
The
me,
production of the background na-na-nas is so cool. It feels like it's spinning round me.
baby now.
Almost had a bit of an indie rock feel to that in moments. Enjoyed that. One thing I would say, compared to a lot of the other tracks, this has about 7 writers on. And I can tell that I would put it in the top half of tracks on the album, but I think maybe 7 people is a little bit too much.
I always think when there's that many names on a track, I
Were they
think,
just in the room?
well, what were they doing to benefit that track in particular? Because I wouldn't say that track is any better than the other ones that we've heard so far. I mean, I think the first 5 were better than that track in particular.
I'd put this in the same vein in terms of how much I liked it.
But we'll move on to the final track here, which is just David.
I wonder what David's going to have done.
Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Let's find out. Is he the man of the year?
Come on. It starts with Oh Dark Day, so probably not.
Oh, dark day. Was I just someone to dominate?
Don't think he's man of the year.
If I'd had virginity, I would have given that too. Why do we run to the ones we do? 'Cause you dialed me out when it got hard. Uppercut to the throat, I was off guard. Pure heroin mistaken for featherweight. But what came spilling out that day was the truth. And once I could sing again, I swore I'd never let myself sing again for you.
Got that arpeggioed synth going on in the background again. I'm really liking that.
Sing it. But I don't belong
Whoa.
to
That was mad.
Got intense then, didn't it?
Am I ever gonna love again? Ooh. Am I ever gonna love again? Do you ever feel like a friend? Am I ever gonna love again? Do you understand? Tell it to him.
The vocals on that track were easily the best across the album. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the kind of emotion that was put in with that part that got really intense. You could tell that that was like this massive build-up, and it kind of swelled up inside me. You know what I mean? It felt like there was a lot going on.
Yeah, I've had the headphones on the same volume for the entire album, but it felt like that was the loudest, most noticeable moment so far, and that was obviously purposeful given the topic of the song. But it was just fantastic vocals and a really good way to end the album. Like, fantastic. It's just like some words at the end, which we've seen multiple times, but we had that moment of energy. It drops out. But Tim, our first time ever listening to Lorde and a reaction to the new album, which literally came out a couple of hours ago. What did you think of Virgin?
I was very, very pleasantly surprised by this, you know. I didn't know what to expect going in. Like I said at the beginning, I haven't really listened to that much Lorde music. I think Royals will probably be the only song that I really recognise. So, fresh plate, just going in as it is, fresh slate even. And this just, knocked it out the park. I think this is fantastic.
Yeah, Lorde Virgin has absolutely blown my mind. The production on display throughout is incredible. Her vocals and her ability to go from emotional topics back to not particularly non-emotional songs, but more fun instrumentals and more dancey style tracks to then go back to more emotional topics has blown my mind. It's a really short album as well, just over 30 minutes, and I feel like I went on a true journey there.
I'd be really intrigued to see who produced this album, whether they've worked with Lorde in the past, to see if there's any other music that are in this vein, and also to see if they've done any work with other musicians, because this was actually like fantastic. So if they could put out this work with somebody else, I'd be there for it.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And you've listened to the whole album with us now. So even if you've not heard it outside of here, you can let us know in the comments what your favourite track from Virgin was.
But Joe, there's a very important question here, and that is, what would you rate this album out of 10?
I mean, obviously, this is our first time listening to it. It is a genuine live reaction. And off the top of my head, I'd probably go in at 8.5. I think it was really good. There was a couple of tracks which were more personal. I can't remember, you know, the 1 minute 57, what's that called? Clear Blue. That wasn't really the type of song that I'd listen to on a regular basis, but I feel like as an album it still fit in, so 8.5 is there for me.
For me, I'm going in at a 7.5. I felt like the album could have been a little bit longer. I feel like I wanted them to explore the sound that they were going with a bit more, but I think this does leave the door open for a deluxe edition, and I think that will be the perfect length, and a couple more songs in this realm would be absolutely fantastic.
Well, when you want a deluxe edition, it must be good.
Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Peace.